In a recent presentation, Sony revealed their logos for a couple of films, including Venom 3. And a lot of people, some outlets online, then jumped on and said, well, the logo itself kind of gives away who the villain is going to be. And it's another symbiote in the comics known as Toxin, who's kind of a third generation because, Carnage was begat from Venom and Toxin is begat from Carnage. So it's like third generation, whatever have you. Now, to follow up on this theory that this 3 kind of just gives away that it's going to be Toxin, they kind of back that up with this. Again, this comes to us from Screen Rant, right? The following. The biggest reason Toxin is in the conversation about potential Venom 3 villains is that he was teased at the end of Venom Let There Be Carnage. The nod is vague and likely didn't mean anything specific to non-comic readers, but after being injured in the climactic battle between Venom and Carnage, Detective Mulligan, who, by the way, I really like this character in the movie, Detective Mulligan gains a yellow glow in his eyes and speaks of monsters. In Marvel Comics, Mulligan is the first and most important host of the Toxin symbiote, and this scene seems likely to set up his future bond with the creature. All right. It does make sense. Now, first and foremost, it's got to be pointed out that Sony did not say that the villain in the next film is going to be Toxin. There's nothing official that says that is, so it may or may not be true. But what a lot of the online folks are talking about, it does add up. It does seem to make sense, especially when you consider the Detective Mulligan thing at the end of the last film. That seems to make sense. Now, I am a fan. I know not everybody is, but I am a real big fan of the 2 Venom films. More the first one than the second one, but I still had fun with the second one. I really enjoy these films, and I'm very, very excited to see the third. And the Toxin thing does seem to make sense. But I have to admit, a concern I have is, again? Like the first Venom, I get it. It was symbiote versus symbiote. Okay, so you had to have Venom fighting another symbiote. All right. Well, then the second one, you have him fighting a symbiote again. But I get it. It's Carnage. Carnage is a super popular character with a lot of people. You wanted to do the Carnage thing. I got it, and it worked for me. I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but it worked for me. You're really going to do Venom against another symbiote for a third time? Like, now granted, I can't tell you a pantheon off the top of my head of famous Venom opponents. But, and you can't have Venom fighting, Kite Man or whatever. I know, different comic universe, but still, hell yeah. See that? I would watch that. Kite Man versus Venom, hell yeah. I'd be totally down for that. 100%. But I got to admit that I am a little disappointed if it is indeed our third movie and for a third time, it's Venom fighting another symbiote for a third time. Because you're going to run out of things you can do visually that are going to be interesting. It's like, we get it. Symbiote's dangerous, blah. But I don't know, maybe this is one of those things where, because in the comics, Toxin is sometimes a good guy, sometimes a bad guy.
Yes, especially when Pat Mulligan is piloting him.
Yes.
They try to get everybody who, evacuated the raft and bring them back to justice. He's trying to be a cop still. He's trying to be a good guy. He's got a wife who's pregnant at home. He's really struggling with this identity. And
so could it be that maybe this is the thing where Toxin is initially looked at as a problem in the first part of the film, but there is a larger threat in the movie? Hopefully not another symbiote. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Harry's. Guys, in order to start the John Campea Show, I had to leave my high-paying corporate job in order to set myself up to be happier and enjoy more personal success. Because sometimes to get what you want, you have to challenge the status quo and blaze your own trail. And that's exactly what the folks at Harry's did. You see, at Harry's, they saw customers getting ripped off by questionable products in the shaving industry and decided to do something better. Harry's decided to pave their own road by making beautifully designed razors for a fraction of the price of the other big brands. Exceptional products, honest prices. That's Harry's. I have fallen in love with Harry's, from their foaming shaving gel that feels just luxurious on the skin to their incredible razor that feels just as good in the hand as it does going over your skin. They've got rich, lathering, skin-softening body wash in scents like redwood, wildlands, and stone. You see, Harry's provides German-engineered blades made in their own factory that stay sharp longer. You can get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and a
travel cover for just $3 at harrys.com/Campea. Don't settle for the status quo. Blaze your own trail with Harry's. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/Campea. That's harrys.com/Campea for a $3 trial set.
But there's a larger threat in the movie, and maybe Venom and Toxin have to. I don't know, Chris. What do you think about this whole thing?
I mean, that potentially could be it. I understand why they would bring Toxin in if we are going to continue on the symbiote kind of thing here, because Toxin, who is Carnage's baby, essentially, for lack of a better term, is one of the most dangerous and strong symbiotes that's out there. In the comics, a lot of times his power is kind of only second to null. And I don't know if you can jump up to null yet in the third Venom movie.
You can't do null.
You really got to
really
rev
can't.
up to null, because what a villain. What crazy nonsense in there. Oh my gosh. So you could do this, and we can deal more with that kind of anti-hero conflicted character, especially dealing with Pat Mulligan, who, if you've read the comics, does not have a good time. Bad things happen to Pat Mulligan. A terrible, terrible fate awaits Pat Mulligan. So you could do something really interesting here with that kind of character study. For the most part, though, these Venom movies have been fun. They've been fun, ridiculous, kind of monstery-ish movies. And I don't know how deep you can get here, honestly. I think you have a lot of room to play with, but unless you're going to go the full ride with Pat Mulligan, have like Blackheart come in and do what he's going to do, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff here. And honestly, a big thing here, I know, Jonathan, you were joking with your cough of Spider-Man, but really, Venom's foes are owned by Disney right now. I don't know who is all cataloged over to the Sony universe currently and who you could have Venom up against. Most of the great characters we see Venom taking on are the same ones that Spider-Man deals with too. So they really are kind of in a pickle here of what they can do next.
I really think they had a missed opportunity. Now, look, I'm looking forward to the Craven movie. I don't have a lot to base that hope on, but I have a lot of hope for that movie. But I still think there was a massively missed opportunity with the folks at Sony a couple of years ago, because I really think an adaptation of The Hunt where Craven is introduced into this Sony world because he is out hunting Venom.
That's so much more interesting to me than oopsie doodle, I got some lion blood in my body.
Well, he still got that, but you're going to go after Venom.
But go after Venom.
And Morbius.
I'm just already that preview. I know, I'm sorry, I'm a negative Nancy about these movies. I wasn't a big fan of the Morbius trailers. I'm not a big fan of the Craven one. I don't, stop trying to make them good guys. Just stop. Make them real interesting. I don't care that he doesn't like his daddy. I don't care.
That's not very empathetic of you.
It's not.
Yeah, you're a cold soul.
I have
Kit
no
Car.
empathy for these characters. Let the bad boys be bad.
I mean, look, if you're going to make a movie about them, nobody ever makes a movie about the bad guy. I mean, they always, like, every studio says they do, but it's always, they end up just being more of an anti-hero or, something like that. It's not, they've never made a movie about the bad guy. So, and I'm okay with Craven kind of being, he's seen as the bad guy because of the way he conducts his life, but he doesn't see himself as bad, and maybe some other. I'm morally gray. I'm fine with that, but I really thought it could have been an opportunity to introduce him hunting Venom. I thought that
would have been dope.
Cool. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.